It is April 24th, 2017. We're here at 10310 Lariat Lane in La Mesa, California, 91941. We're going to inspect the sewer main line here. We did not notice any cleanouts on the perimeter of the property for the main sewer, so we're going to go down through the rooftop here. This is the original 3-inch cast iron vertical pipe. This vent pipe will lead directly into the beginning of the sewer main. There are 2 bathrooms that are back to back with each other, so this vent is shared for both bathrooms. You can see here on the left and right hand side of the screen, those are 2 smaller vent pipes. That's where the sinks, tub, and shower, their vents connect into this 3-inch. And as we go down this 3-inch vent, right here we have the 2 openings for the closet elbows from the 2 toilets from both bathrooms. So this is the very beginning of the sewer main. Immediately this vertical will transition right here into the horizontal line. Sometimes our spring and our cameras have a little bit of fidgety to get through here. We're gonna pause the video for a second while we get this maneuver through with some water. Okay, so you can see here we're in the horizontal line from both the vent pipe and possibly from some of the drain lines if they've been worked on at all. We've got some buildup of cast iron flaking in the pipe, and so that's part of the reason why our camera is kind of flip-flopping and actually was having difficulty coming down through this transition. So you can see there's a little bit of buildup there. Got a small spider crawling in the line too. We're going to try to push this through, but we wanted to show this before we run some water to run across. So here you can see we just jumped over that little ball of debris. Now you can see the pipe is nice and opened up. So this is all original cast iron pipe. Got a small turn on the line right here. Okay, this might be an original clean out here right on the edge of the foundation wall as this leaves the house. So it looks like that's a buried clean out that was originally put in. We'll come back and locate that. We're going to continue to push down the line. So you can see there's a little bit of buildup on the walls of the pipe. That's to be expected with older cast iron. Not a huge amount right now, or no type of concern. And here we've already exited the cast iron pipe and we've transitioned into plastic line. This almost looks like clay pipe at first, but got some weird coloration on the inside. Doesn't appear to be clay, but it does have that red orangish hue. Appears to be white pipe with some discoloration. This pipe is all free and open, no issues here. This could be a relined pipe. That could be what this is that the cast iron was relined. This could have been a pull-through coated liner, and they stopped right before that other clean out because they can't do T-junctions. So that also could be what this is inside here. But this pipe is in perfect condition, of course. Now going down this line, this is all 4-inch pipe. Here we have a T-junction. That T-junction, we made a turn on the line. Okay, line's getting a little difficult to push out because we made so many multiple turns on here, so we're going to end up pausing the video here in a second so we can run some water through the system. That'll reduce the friction on the line and also help to carry the camera and cable out with the movement. Okay, we've got the water running right now, so sometimes we may lose our view with the water in front of the camera face, but we're going to keep pushing down the line and record this as we go. Right now we do have a view still of everything. Here we have a turn on the line. Okay, here we have a clean out on a T-junction. That other T-junction that we passed a while ago, I don't know if that was picking up some other part of another property, or if we're not headed towards the street, we may be headed all the way towards Challenge Boulevard. That's why we're out such a long distance. That's a possibility. We're out quite a distance here. We're about to run out of our cable here, distance-wise. Here we have another turn that may be dumped into the city. So this particular cable we use goes out only about 165 feet. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video for a second and pull back to that other clean out to see if we're running all the way towards Challenge Boulevard or towards Lariat. Okay, we've gone ahead and located this line. It's actually not running towards Challenge Boulevard or Lariat. It's actually running into the backyard, going through then an eventual easement. So this clean out T that we've showing right here on the video, this T-junction is in the backyard to the right of the deck. There's some bark that then transitions to regular sand and dirt, and once it starts down the hillside, about 5 to 6 feet down the hillside is where this is at. We did mark it with a green flag. The pipe is 25 inches deep, so it's just barely over 2 feet deep, and we've wrote 25 inches in clean out on that flag and inserted it into the ground where this T-junction is. Now the T-junction, because it is a hillside, may be laying at a steep angle, and the clean out then might have another angle to bring it up, so it may not be coming up vertically right above this T. It might be coming out at a slightly different spot, but there is an access if somebody was to dig in that general vicinity of our flag to expose this line and that clean out. So now we're going to go ahead and put a camera in that we have that is a little bit longer than this one by about 40 to 50 feet. Just to see if we can get a little bit further down the line to ensure there's not any roots, or that we can catch where it actually dumps into the larger pipe that's transitioning to the pipe that's catching the neighbors as well. So we're going to pull back the line right here. You can see there's some little of that chunky debris, little flakes that we, from running all the water down the line, have kind of finagled and washed their way out. So we're going to keep recording. Normally we would put this on pause while we pull back but there's a little chunk right there. We're going to keep this on as we come back just to see during the rest of the way back if we see any more of the large amounts of that little debris that was globbed up when we first entered the line. There was also another T-junction which we thought may be a clean out, which is probably not, at about the 25-foot mark or so on our counter. And if the line's leading to the back of the house, that's probably not possible. But we're going to keep it on, and then we'll locate that just to see where that's at as well. Here you can see there's some big chunks of that little debris, so that's kind of good that we're seeing that. All we did was flush the toilets once again each, and ran the lavatory sink, one in each bathroom, and ran the bathtub. And so a lot of that is just from the cable and the camera spring and the water, been able to maneuver that down the line. So that's a good sign there. Hopefully we'll see a lot less at that spot. That also is good because if some of that didn't all move out, then we may recommend trying to get that hydrojetted or snaked out, or even to the point where you have to pull a toilet and try to use some magnets to try to pull those metal flakes out. So we'll see what this looks like when we come back. Okay, there's that turn we made on the line, and we're only 56 feet out, so this is a change in the line. They used the T-junction to do that. Okay, here's our turn, and here we'll be coming back to transition back to cast iron here, as well as that other clean out. Here's the other turn, and here's the transition. So we had a couple 90s in a row. This may still be leaving the front of the house and then making those two 90-degree turns to run along the side of the house to get into the backyard. So we're going to pause the video for a second while we locate this. Okay, apologize we didn't pause the video there. We did go ahead and locate this clean out, and it is actually right about 2 feet deep. It's in a little rock bed at the front of the house, just to the left of the water main. We've marked it also with a little green flag denoting the depth, and it's a clean out. So it's the original clean out. Usually that's an old buried two-way clean out, which we don't allow anymore, but it would give access for somebody to go in either direction if they were to dig down and remove the cap and extend it if they had to get into that. So now we're going to come back through the cast iron and see if some of that debris has gotten washed away. There's some little bit of it right there, you can see. As we come back across here, you can see there's some more of that little chunky debris. We're going to take a photo of that. So it's still kind of hanging out in the line. Again, you can see with all those little heavy pieces of metal flakes, that's easy for that to catch and bind some paper and feces and whatnot. So not something you typically want to have to be able to see in the line. A lot of those little chunks like that. So they don't look too heavy right now. Again, they got dispersed up a little bit. We're going to be putting another camera down the line, and we're going to run water when we do that to see if we can break up some more of that. But if it ever did cause an issue, you can see right there, those little mounds could snag things and cause it to dam and build up and lead to a stoppage. And again, that's when, you know, you've got to go down there, and that's when you possibly would need to expose that clean out in the rock bed so that a hydrojetter could go down in and drag and scoop all those out with high pressure water to remove them. As we here come right back up the vertical vent pipe. So they also could possibly go down the vent pipe we're in right now and blast it with some forward jets and might be able to move it enough down the line since it's not extremely heavy, and then get it flushed out with the moving water the rest of the way out. So we just came back out, so now we're going to pause the video while we get a camera that's a little bit longer to see if we can get farther down the system. Okay, we now have a second camera that we're going to push down the line. This is about 220 feet long. It's about 60 feet longer almost than the other one. We do have water running right now to see if it also can allow us to get through and help push out some of that chunky debris that we had in the system. We're going to push through this relatively fast because we want to go ahead and use the water, and we've already seen this portion of the system, of course. Okay, here's the clean out that we located on the hillside. Okay, we're coming up to the spot where we couldn't get by due to the length of the other camera, and that was right here. So here we have this other turn. There's another turn there. We'll shut the water off once we get all the way out. But we need to keep it running for the movement assistance we're getting from it. So I know the picture is not real clear. Another turn right here. Okay, I think we just got out into the end of this system's line, possibly. We're almost at about 200 feet out. You have to deduct about 15 feet for the vertical vent. We're going to go ahead and pause the video while we go ahead and shut the water off. Okay, you can see our water is finally slowing down from when we ran all the faucets to get this pushed out. So it does look like this is a lined pipe. You can see the little bit of flared piece on the left side of the pipe there as we move forward. And so there you can see the clay concrete pipe, the orangish reddish clay pipe. See all the water running there from left to right. That's all the neighboring properties throughout the neighborhood. So we did get out to the end of this line. So luckily there are no issues with it, roots or anything like that. Again, it's about a 200-foot run. We go ahead and as we pull back here, that is the end of the pipe. And now we'll go ahead and pull back in since we had a lot of water running by. We didn't notice anything out of the ordinary, just a few turns here and there. But we'll go ahead and show this without the water running since it wasn't real crystal clear. Back to the 165-foot mark where we left off with the first camera. See a little bulge right there in the line. That was just during the lining process. Either the pipe had a little issue with it, but it's been covered up with this new smooth pipe, so that's not a problem whatsoever. Here's another turn on the line, and another quick one. A lot of turns on this line because of the hillside. We're going up and down and across to get to the other city pipe through this easement. Here's another turn right there. And here's the last turn. This is right where we got up to with the first camera at about this 165-foot mark almost. So everything is good with the system. There's no issues except for that little bit of flaked cast iron that's either coming off from the vent or happened during some part of the construction process of a remodel or whatnot. So we're going to pause the video now while we pull back all the way back to that cast iron to see if those big flakes are still there in the line from the camera running through a second time with the water. We expect there should be some, but we'll see how diminished it is. Okay, we're just coming back into the cast iron here in a couple feet. So we'll turn the video back on. So you can see there's all that little flaky debris in the bottom of the line, but a lot of that's gotten moved out, unless we see a big bulge right here. And no, we've actually been able to clear a majority of that all out. So just by us cameraing it twice kind of did the trick. So I guess we kind of did a small favor there to both the seller and the buyer. So that's kind of cleaned out where we don't feel at this point anything needs to be done on the line with that little bit of cast iron flake that's there. So everything is good on this system. Again, we have those two cleanouts marked, so that if somebody did flush something down they shouldn't and clogged up the main, they'd either have to pull the toilet or go from the roof vent. Otherwise, in the future, they may need to expose those two cleanouts that we've marked for the property. So that concludes this recording.